This video is for people who either handle dogs alone and work, living in an urban setup and an apartment like I do. Hello everyone, welcome back to our second channel, and today we'll be doing a video about training your dog. It's okay, Maya, it's okay. Give me a high five. Give me a high five. High five. Give me a high five. Good girl. Thank you. Good girl. Good girl. Down. 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 Good girl. Since there isn't like a one thing that you have to train your dog on, and you have to train your dog on a lot of things, I'm going to divide this video into two parts. This part, the first part is going to be basics of what you need, how often to train, scheduling, and the second part is going to be more about separation anxiety, how you leave your puppy alone, and mistakes you can make while you send them away on boarding. So let's get to the first part first, the basics. Before we even begin, first of all, I personally do not promote buying a dog, so I believe that you should always rescue some dog that needs you. But if you're somebody who already takes care of a couple of strays around your area, feeding a stray dog outside your house and then bringing a puppy inside is going to be completely different. Two different things. You have to be 100% responsible for them, also your own mental health, and now understand that they are in your space. At the end of the day, you're still dealing with a wild animal. It's still a dog. The way you treat human babies and the way you treat a dog is going to be different. You have to have that in mind, and this training has to be species specific. So keep that in mind, that you are training a dog and they watch everything, every move you make, your emotions. They are like sponges, they would absorb everything. So this would require a lot of self-discipline, so you have to be prepared for it. If you're not ready for it, don't go for it, because you will actually be responsible for a life. Second of all, this video is for people who either handle dogs alone and work. Somebody who lives in a big family, big farmhouse, can afford to have a lot of dogs, has a big support system. Maybe the things that I'm telling you might not really work for you and might not be necessary for you. But if you are living alone, or two people handling a dog and working, living in an urban setup and an apartment like I do, these tips would be very helpful for you. First of all, I think a lot of people have this misconception that you need to have a very big family to have to give a dog a good life, and that's really not true, because outside of India there are a lot of people who do have dogs and they stay alone, and their dogs handle that situation pretty well. In fact, dogs are support animals, as your emotional support system if you're staying alone, and they're also security. So in my case also it's the same thing. I do stay alone, I don't have help. In fact, first 6 months of raising her, I didn't even have domestic help at home, so everything was on to me, and these were things that really helped me out. So first is what all you need to start. First of all is definition of boundaries, and I know that this has to start from the moment you get the puppy inside the house. Okay, so we have this expectation कि भाई उनका भी घर है, this is their house as well, let them go everywhere they want to. No, don't make that mistake. Restrict them. Initially, when you have a puppy at home, everything is a danger to them as well. They can chew on things, they can chew on a live cable, get electrocuted, and things can go wrong. So you need to control their space and set up boundaries for themselves, for them and for you. In my case, I don't like dogs in the kitchen. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't prefer, if you don't prefer kids in the kitchen, I think you should not prefer dogs in the kitchen, because you have sharp objects, you have you're frying stuff, there's heat involved, there's hot things involved. So, it's just not the ideal. So I never gave Maya permission to come inside the kitchen. So the first day she came in, she was trying to enter the kitchen. I was like, and she learned that lesson day one, that area is off limits, and that has been ever since. Now wherever she goes, even if she goes to someone else's house, she will not enter the kitchen. So this is always going to help you to have set up boundaries. Similarly, if you want dogs on the couch, if you don't want dogs on the couch, you want them on the bed, don't want them on the bed, start with the puppy, okay? I know it's very tempting for you to cuddle with the puppy in bed, but then later on, if you're not going to have the dog inside the bed, don't allow the puppy inside the bed. It's very simple. Whatever you set on day one, that'll remain with them for the rest of their life. So in my case, again, I never gave her permission to go up on couches and beds, because personally, that's not my preference on how to raise a dog, my personal preference. Again, you could think differently, and also I believe that I want to be able to take her with me to places, to somebody else's house, to hotels which are pet friendly. And even if you go to a pet friendly hotel or a pet friendly place, they give you a pet bed. So they don't expect the pets to sit next to you on the couch, and some places it's not allowed. So then it will be a problem for me to train her to come down, and then she would have made peace with sitting up next to me. So I never wanted that. So for me, the boundaries were clear. You can't enter the kitchen, you can't jump on couches, you can't come on bed with me. I will give you a separate set of furniture, and that's been the case. And that's the way it has been with us in terms of boundaries. Secondly, if you want to raise a puppy, as I said, restrict their restrict their area. Also, another thing that you should restrict on is that don't give them access to the whole house immediately. Keep one room that's puppy safe, get your puppy used to it, and then gradually give them space to go around more. Second important thing, what are the tools that I use to make her, like, train her and make her less anxious? First thing, I have crate trained Maya. If you want to learn more about crate training, there's loads and loads of stuff online how you can do that. I personally insist that you do it. How long you should be crate training a dog? I think up to a year it's good to crate train your dog. And also know that when you sleep at night, or when you leave the house and you know that your dog is in the crate, they're safe, they're with the toy, it's a far better mental space to be in, rather than to have the puppy go around the house, find things to chew on, find things to destroy. You are frustrated, the puppy is frustrated. It's just not a good thing to say. Also, crate training will help the puppy learn potty training way faster, because they will have to hold their pee because they are in a crate. So choosing the right size of the crate training is very important. I have always put her in bed in a crate. And don't listen to anyone who tells you otherwise, because I've heard it from people that, oh, your dog is trained already, she doesn't pee, she's such a good dog, why do you have to put her in a crate? And they don't use the word crate, they always use the word, why do you have to put her in a cage at night? It's not a cage, it's a crate, it's a training tool. And controlling a puppy's environment at night is essential, because that is how they learn to stay calm in closed environments alone, and that is the first step towards not giving your dog separation anxiety. If you want me to make a separate video about crate training, I will do that, and how I helped her crate train. When you initially would, just I'm going to give you a caveat here. When you will put your puppy inside the crate for the first time, and the first time they can't see you physically, they will cry, and the first 2-3 nights could be difficult, but it gets better with time. Eventually your puppy will learn to do that, and they eventually do get used to it. The second tool that I've always used, and again a lot of people have discouraged me against using it, is using a house line. So a lot of people would ask me, so when I would put a house line on her, don't do that. So when I would put a house line on her and I would post any of my stories, people would be like, why is your dog on a leash inside the house? It's so unnecessary, dogs should be free. First of all, house line doesn't mean that the dog is not free. A house line looks like this. So basically it's a leash that you kind of open at the end, so that the leash is free and it doesn't get tangled anywhere the dog is going. She always had a house line on her till about, I think, 5 months of age. Now also I do that. The days she's crazy, I still do it. She's 10 months old. Why is it important to have a house line is that imagine a scenario where your puppy is about to make a mistake, and then you tell them that the puppy is making a mistake. You probably will yell at them, or you probably will make a sound like, no, don't do it. The puppy knows that they're not supposed to do it. In that situation, two things can happen. Either puppy will not do it, and the other thing is the puppy will run away and you will chase. And when that running and chasing is happening, you think you're correcting the puppy, but the puppy is actually enjoying it. So if this goes on and on and on, you don't come across as a very good leader, and the puppy will learn that if they don't listen and run away, then you play with them and it's so much fun. So you will never be able to train your puppy. In that case, the house line really comes in handy, because when you have a house line on her, when I have a house line on her and she makes a mistake and then she has a tendency to kind of run away, I can just step on her line and she's going to stop then and there. And that's where you can correct her and she's going to get caught. Okay, Baba. That definitely helps when you have a house line and a puppy. Can you make the dog walk leash free outside? Again, I'll save that for another video. I have not reached that level, and I think till about 2 years it will be difficult for us to reach that level. Second thing that you can use is, she's kind of scared of it, is clicker training. Again, loads of videos are available online when you do clicker training, like Maya. She looks at me. Maya? Maya! Yeah. So you could do clicker training as well. But things that I feel that are absolutely necessary are boundaries. Let me revise it for you. Boundaries, crate training, house line. Amazing tools. Fourth tool that you should always use to train your dog is control your dog around food. Oh my God, if nobody has told you this. Control your dog around food and your dog is going to be easy to train. Again, depending on how much your dog, how much food drive your dog has. In my case, she just loves food. Anything that is edible is like her favorite. She has a very strong food drive. So that means she's a quick learner, but that also means she will make mistakes around food. It also means that she can get anxious around food or do resource guarding of food. So it's very, very important that you teach your dog to control, control your dog around food. So the first thing you should train your dog to do is not to eat unless they're given command. So to stay on the food is very important. Then you can gradually increase it longer. I started training her to stay the first week she got in. I gave her like a 3 to 4 day window period where she was adjusting to the new house and everything. And the moment she was adjusted, I was already giving her the stay command on food. And a lot of people make this mistake that they play with the puppy, they feed the puppy and they think it's enough. No, it's not enough. You have to train your dog. You have to train your puppy the moment they come in. If they are 8 weeks and above, start training day 1. In my case, I was feeding her 4 times a day till she was 4 months old, and I was using at least 2 meal times to train. So I would never just give the food and be like, eat it. I would always interact with her with the food. I would teach her to sit using food. The basic commands like sit, stay, come, down, stand. These basic commands I taught her every single day while she was being fed. So I would like give her a spoon of food and then tell her to stay, walk back, tell her to come towards me. So we were practicing recall, come every single day. Like imagine that you have a kindergarten child that's learning ABC. You keep teaching the child ABC. You sing it, you tell the kid the same thing when you're watching TV. You keep revising it. You keep revising it, and the same way you have to do it with your dog as well. Keep repeating it, keep repeating it, keep repeating it. Every meal, use that opportunity to do again. So even if you're handing out a treat to your dog, use that opportunity to teach a trick. Use that opportunity to revise a trick. So dogs are creature of habits. You do it again and again and again, and they would learn. And also remember that whatever you're doing with the puppy, whatever interaction you're doing with the puppy, you might be having fun in that moment. You might be doing something fun that you are liking in that moment, but you're teaching your dog subconsciously everything. So if she's pulling on to my jacket and she's a puppy and I'm finding it funny and I'm giving her permission to do it 5 times, 6th time it's a habit, and she's gonna turn into a dog with big teeth and like lots stronger than what she was when she was a puppy, and that habit is gonna continue. So don't allow something day 1 when you know that you will not be able to live with it when she's a fully grown dog or he's a fully grown dog. So be mindful of those things that you do. It's very tempting to cuddle with a puppy, but you might not want a big dog in your bed later on. Again, it's up to you. So whatever you think you'll not be okay with the dog doing, don't entertain a puppy doing it as well. You know, keep those boundaries, keep those lines very, very clear. I think this is it for the video, Maya. Do you want to say something more? Do you want to tell them something more? Do you want to show them a trick? So yeah, these are some basic things that you can do. Separation anxiety is something that I'll separately talk about in the next video. If there's any more detail that you want, let me know.